Welcome everyone to our channel to join me, and today we are taking a tour of the Titan Missile Museum in Tucson, Arizona. So I hope you'll enjoy this video. Please like, share and subscribe, and stay blessed as usual, and big up yourself, and thank you for watching. This is called a re-entry vehicle. The re-entry vehicle RV is designed to protect the warhead from the heat and stress of re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere at over 20 times the speed of sound. This is the Launch Control Complex Facilities console. I'm sure they're more sophisticated now. What is this? It would inflict first-degree burns at a distance of 30 miles.
Nothing to do with us, not the dirt from this place. That mine was 8 miles away back in 1962 when this was built. There was no town back then either, not a single house. This was the middle of nowhere. Air Force didn't build these near people. Nobody in their right mind would build a house next to it. Soviets had a giant nuclear weapon aimed at this very spot. A year after the silo went in, a town started to pop up. The people didn't know what these were. Showed up when we were operational. The building wouldn't have been here. None of this refueling equipment would be up here. You drove up, all you would have seen was a fence, a couple telephone poles, that antenna out front, and the big tan structure. That's the silo closure door. Whole thing is one single door. Weighs 760 tons, made of steel, filled with concrete, sits over the top, protects the missile from a nearby detonation. That door has to be able to rise up on railroad tracks, slide open in under 19 seconds, even covered in debris. Telephone pole with the crow's nest is about 50 feet tall. Double it, that's the height of the Titan II. Triple it, the depth of our silo. The 9 megaton bomb sitting in the lobby. If that bomb was live, detonated 14,000 feet above this valley, it would destroy everything in this valley. From that mountain 10 miles away to the mountains on the other side of Tucson, 30 miles away. Everything in between is gone, wiped completely clean. The only thing left standing intact above ground, for as far as you can see, is going to be that door. We're going to head down now. Please watch your step. I got to get everybody off the stairs before we can begin, so please keep up the best you can. Right this way.
Step up.
This is where the harder part of the structure begins. 4 feet of concrete in the walls, 5 feet in the floors and the ceiling. The top 30 feet of the silo is 8 feet thick of concrete just to hold the weight of that massive door. The entire complex, covered in a 1/4 inch of battleship grade steel, acts as a factory. This area is called the blast lock. Like an airlock you find on a submarine or spacecraft. All of these doors are electronically paired. Only one door can ever be opened at a time. Each one of our blast doors weighs 6,000 pounds, 3 tons per door. Blast doors 6 and 7 protect us from the near miss. Doors 8 and 9 inside protect us from our own missile, either the launch of the missile or mishap of the missile. Come on in. I need help launching this thing. Anybody want to help me?
You wanna go? Go.
You want to help me?
Go, Phil. Go, go, go! David, go.
No? All right.
Go.
Yes, yes, it's there. And I need my commander.
Yes, go launch it. Go launch.
You guys didn't want to do it?
Sure.
All right, folks, we're in the next 3-story building. This building is round on the top, flat on the bottom. It's designed to deflect an overhead blast away. The top floor is the crew's quarters. You've been in the military, you know it's not the Hilton. It's the military. 2 bunk beds, kitchenette, bathroom, incredibly basic. Downstairs is the equipment bay. This floor is launch control, where we launch from, where we spend most of our time. The last thing we need to worry about is a shock wave. A nearby detonation will create an incredible earthquake. It'll make the land above our heads look like waves on the ocean. We need to survive that. Everything critical to launching this missile, the people, all of the equipment, the missile itself, all on giant springs and shock absorbers, you'll see them everywhere, including all 3 floors of this building. We cross a bridge to get into this room. We're not attached to the walls. We're just hanging here by 8 of these massive springs around the room. So in case of that shock wave, the ground around us, shell of the building itself, I'll move up and down 1.5 foot side to side. We should just hang here safe in our little cocoon. There's 4 crew members, 2 officers, 2 enlisted people. We're here for the next 24 hours. That's our shift. We call it an alert. It's our job to decode secret messages, monitor and maintain the missile in the complex, troubleshoot any problems that arise, keep this place in a state of readiness. That missile has to be ready to fire every second of every day. First crew member, Missile Combat Crew Commander. You're a captain in the Air Force. You're the boss. You're responsible for all of us and all of this for the next 24 hours. And you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. That order comes through to launch. It's up to the commander here to make sure we do our duty in launch. Deputy Missile Combat Crew Commander, First and Second Lieutenant, Communication Officer. You have 4 different kinds of radios connected to 7 different antennas up topside. I'll point out later, redundancy. You're also our safety officer. Anytime anyone's out in that silo, you need to keep track of exactly where they are on that board in case there's an accident or we get the order to launch. We can't launch if you're out there. You won't survive. We got to get you back in. It's not electric. Electric clocks are not reliable enough for our needs. It's an 8-day wind-up chronometer, the finest of its kind. It's been running since 1963. Deputy on duty every Sunday morning, Wallington. Twice a day, every day. Synchronize that with your timer clock that's in Boulder, Colorado. Your clock can never be more than 1 second off. This is our launch clock. Launch clock is set to Zulu time. 0 meridian, where the time zones start. We use it, allies use it, space station uses it, avoids confusion during military operations. We don't worry if it's AM, PM, daylight savings time, because it's the same time for all our nuclear forces, no matter where on Earth they are. And right now, it's about 8:45 in the afternoon, or I mean at night, 9:15. Or in military terms, 2,045 hours, there's no confusion, all on the same page. Last 2 crew members are the enlisted people, the workers, the most technically trained people on the crew. First one is the MFT, Missile Alive. We have 9 floors out there jam-packed with anything you think a liquid fuel rocket could need. Hydraulics, pneumatics, sewage, water, power, air conditioning, heating, electrical, plumbing. This person takes care of all that stuff like a jack of all trades. The last crew member is the BMAT, Ballistic Missile Analyst Technician, computer expert, the electronic technician on the crew. BMAT's a crew member with the most schooling, was considered the smartest person on the everything but the engine. My main job on this crew would be during the launch. Something goes wrong, it's on my shoulders, run down that cableway, figure out what went wrong, fix it, make it launch or die trying, whichever's going to happen first. Some of our equipment. This runs the facilities. My launch equipment. Breakers for everything below ground. This is called the MGAC, Missile Guidance Alignment Checkout Group. This is the interface with the guidance computer that sits on the missile. This thing tells the missile, 1, where it is, and 2, where it's going to go. In order to hit a target, somewhere in China or Russia, that missile has to know where true north is at all times. The MGAC is what tells it. This is called the Annunciator Panel. You'll hear that in a couple minutes. That's our security system. I told you, the only camera on the property is watching the phone in the cage. Make sure nobody has a gun to the commander's head when he's trying to get us in. There are no cameras up topside, no security forces up there either. All we have is these things called TIPSIes, Doppler radar. Sort of like what opens the door to market these days, only instead of a beam of light, back then it was a radio beam. Something crosses that radio beam, these alarms are going to go off. 8 of them guard the silo, close your door. 2 of them guard our air supply. You break that beam, the alarms are going off. Big gray thing back there in the corner, that's called the blast valve. That valve is connected to our only air shaft. It's going to slam close, cut off our air, so nobody can kill us while we're down here. It'll also slam close during a launch, or if it detects a nearby detonation, protect us from the radiation. We're not a submarine. We don't manufacture air. That valve closes, all we have left to breathe, whatever happens to be left in here. These alarms go off, you get on the horn, call the base. They'll send out a roving 2-person team to see what's happening. No questions asked, use of deadly force. We're not going out there. We don't know what's out there. We're not going to open the doors and let the enemy in. Every nuclear weapon has a fail-safe. The Air Force installed that to stop an inadvertent launch, either accidental, a crew that had gone crazy, or a crew that had been infiltrated. There's an instant explosion, we get liftoff. One of these valves has a locking mechanism connected to this. This valve can't open, none of them can open. They can't open, we can't launch. You think you're going to go start World War III on your own someday? Run out there trying to manually make it open? It has an explosive housing. This valve will explode, melt close. Rocket will never launch after that, it's useless. The only way to ever get this thing to open is to put that combination in. Now the captain doesn't know the combination, deputy doesn't know the combination, in the basement, you're in trouble. Typical day of work, 7 in the morning. All the missile crews meet at this top secret bunker on the base in Tucson. They give us a top secret briefing that's going to talk to us about anything going on around the world they think a missile crew needs to know about. Troop movement, military buildup, political problems. Last 10 minutes of every meeting, they would show us movies they smuggled out of the Soviet Union of them launching and detonating their newest nuclear weapons. And it put us in the mood for work that day. Jump in our trucks, drive out to the silos. Replace the crews who were there for 24 hours. They take our truck, they drive back, we seal ourselves in. First thing we do, check everything. We go through this place with a fine-tooth comb. Takes us 4 hours to do it. 12 hours later, we get up, we do it again. Twice a day, every day. The place is going through head to toe looking for problems. That'll chew up 8 out of our 24-hour shift, gives us 16 hours to go.
Alpha 2, 3, Charlie, Hotel, 5. Message follows.
That is the preamble to an emergency action message. All your radios are going off. Captain has a top secret emergency action message book, so does our deputy. Crack it open. There's a couple top secret forms in here. They each have a grease pencil. They're going to read off a 41-character message. You both copy it down in your books. Then you exchange your books. They'll repeat the message. You copy it down again. Then you put the two books together and you make sure you copy down the same exact thing. When it comes to nuclear weapons in America, two people need to agree to do anything. Not even a president can run over and make a crazy decision on his own. People need to agree with them. It's part of our checks and balances. We're going to decode this. Unfortunately for us today, I guarantee this is the one message no crew member ever wanted to receive. This is the real deal. We've been ordered to launch. There's only two places we can get a launch order from. One is the president, and if he's already dead, then the doomsday plane. We have to make sure it came from one of those two sources. We need to authenticate this message. The corresponds with the first two characters of that message. Say it's this one, Delta Foxtrot. These were made out of hard plastic. We called it the cookie. Crack open the cookie. Pull out the authenticator card. You ever hear of the nuclear football? Officer follows around the president 24/7, has a briefcase handcuffed to him with the launch codes in it. This is what's in that briefcase. These are the launch codes. You're going to line that up with both your books. You're going to make sure it lines up exactly. If it does, if you agree, Captain, it's authenticated, came from the president, we've been ordered to launch. The message itself will tell us what page in that PSYOPs book to go to. What battle are we fighting? There's all different scenarios in that book, Captain. The message is going to tell you which of our 3 pre-programmed targets you're aiming at. You punch it in right there. And it's going to give you the combination of the butterfly valve for the first time ever. You read it off to me. I'll enter the combination here, break the seal, flip this up, hit that switch. If I get a green light, they gave me a good code. Butterfly valves are unlocked. We're about to launch. Hollywood, folks. Television. Every movie you ever see, somebody's hitting a big red button. No idea how they came up with that. The 2 big red buttons, just tell us the doors are open, that's all. In the real world, we use keys. Set of keys in that safe. Captain, your key goes here. Deputy, your key's over there. The keys are angled. They're 7.5 feet apart, so one person cannot reach both. They're spring-loaded to the off position, just like the ignition in your car. You can't turn one and go turn the other. They have to go exactly at the same time. You ready now? Put your left hand on the keys. Don't turn them yet, though. All right, Captain, you're the boss down here. You're going to give your deputy a countdown. 3, 2, 1, launch. On launch, you turn them clockwise. Hold them until I tell you to let them go.
3, 2, 1, launch.
And hold them. Takes 5 seconds. You cannot go. You did your job. You did what the Air Force paid you to do. You just joined World War III. If the president calls now and says, stop it, we made a huge mistake, too bad. There's no oops button. There's no self-destruct. There's no possible way to stop it at this point. Keys have been turned. This thing is going to go. This is the launch sequence. First light, launch enable. Launch enable means everything's been checked. Everything's a go. Second light, batteries activated. 2 batteries sitting on that missile being force-fed electrolyte for the first time. Takes 28 seconds to fill them up. Once they're full, you should get ABS power light. That means the batteries are charged. The missile's on its own. Silo soft, the door just lifted up, slid open, went through the tipsy, set off the alarm. Silo's wide open now. Next light is guidance go. Guidance computer's talking to MAGAC for the last time. It's getting its coordinates. Where's it going? How does it get there? What does it do when it reaches that point? Fire engines, the butterfly valve just opened up, the 2 fuel specs. That thing is lit up out there. All your fire alarms are going off, Captain. When the missile gets to 77% of its full thrust, the 4 explosive bolts that hold it down explode. Titan II starts lumbering up out of that silo. 2 seconds later, liftoff. It's gone. On its way. 58 seconds, folks. That's all this takes to launch is 58 seconds. Which means it takes less than a minute to end the world.
So is that a missile?
Yeah, this is a missile. Alright, be careful of this guy. Oh, it's right here. No, I guess we can't go in. We just have to look right here. Oh, we get to go inside there.
There's another window all the way to the left. Keep going the window. So you're looking at the second stage of the Titan II.
Amazing how big.
Up above the black part is the re-entry vehicle, just like the one in the gift shop. That's where our warhead sits. That's the only part of this rocket that'll reach its target. The rest is just to get it started. It's 103 feet tall, 10 feet in diameter. It weighs 330,000 pounds load of fuel. First stage engine has 430,000 pounds of thrust, equivalent to 2747 to full throttle. You've been to an airport, you know how loud that would be. And this tube is going to create so much sound energy, it'll break that missile apart. So we had to learn how to fly out of a silo. All the great panels are attenuated panels full of spun fiberglass. We also have a 100,000 gallon tank of water attached to us. Keys are turned. It dumps all the water onto the engines. When the water mixes with the exhaust, it turns to steam. The energy it takes to create steam absorbs sound energy. Titan II is the first rocket that can be launched out of a silo. In fact, any time you've ever seen a rocket launch in your life, 90% of what you're looking at is just steam from the sound suppression system. 54 went in the silos, then they built another 51 missiles. Exchanged an older missile for a newer one. Take the old one and the crew, send it out to Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, where we had 3 test silos that could be refurbished. 54 operational silos were one shot, one and done. One missile, one turn of a key, one into the world. There's nobody allowed to give you another missile. Besides, the silos completely destroyed when it lifts off. So we test launcher from Vandenberg at the Marshall Islands without the warhead. 4,500 miles from Vandenberg, there's a little lagoon called Kwajalein. That lagoon's only 3/4 of a mile wide. Basically a speck in the middle of the ocean on the other side of the world. We'd fire at it. We tell the Soviets we're about to do it. They'd be up there in their fishing trawlers watching. We wanted them to see America has a missile. It works. Unlike them, we can hit what we're aiming at and not afraid to use it. Of the 51 we launched, 87% of them landed in the lagoon, a direct hit. 2 failures, a couple near misses. 87% accuracy in the 1960s with that rocket was incredible. We could do it, the Soviets, not a chance. Their missiles were great, their engines were incredible, the guidance system was god-awful. They didn't know where the warhead was going to end up. Russian were trotters. You don't have a Russian on the ground. We're not surviving that. So when I told you anything within a mile, it'll be a big giant gaping hole in the earth where we used to exist. NASA purchased 12 of these for themselves. They renamed it, called it Gemini. Titan II was the launch vehicle for the Gemini manned space program. You all heard of Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. Neil's first ride into space was on a Titan II just like this one, called Gemini 8. Call out a missile because there's a bomb on the top. Stick a couple people up there, it's a rocket, like any other rocket. Up until Apollo, the Saturn I, Saturn V, Titan was America's biggest rocket. Built to last just 7 years. We got 24 years out of it as a deterrent. And then for another 16 years, the ones that we saved and refurbished, we launched satellite. Take your time, load up, folks. There's no rush, okay? Vita, that's called SLIVX, super low frequency, highly survivable antenna, buried 12 feet under the ground. So it has to get its signal through the ground instead of the air, which takes a lot longer to do, but you'll definitely get that signal. There's an antenna in Michigan called ELF. So when you head over there, because of the glare of the sun, you can put your hands on the glass, your camera on the glass, see all 103 feet. All the way down to this big silver donut underneath it. That's a 15-ton solid steel wing called the thrust mount. That's what the explosive bolt hold the missile to. The rest of it, when you see how big it is, you wonder how big the engines are. They're over there, telling you what they burn, how long they burn for, how far each stage will get us. The rest of the tour is self-guided. You're welcome to go anywhere inside the French you like. You can spend as much time as you like when you're through. Go through the last door on the left. That'll get you back in the gift shop. I gotta run in there and man the desk, so if you have any questions or anything you've heard or seen, grab me inside. Obviously, I enjoy talking about it. Thank my commander, my deputy, any veterans for their service, and everybody else for coming out. Thank you, folks. I hope you enjoyed the tour.
All right, thank you. Silo closure door. This massive door protected Titan II in the silo. The door weighs about 760 tons and could be fully open in about 20 seconds. So this is a top view of the Silo missile. And this is an oxidizer holding trailer. It's enormous. Not sure if anything is inside of it. This is a portable foam vapor suppression system right here. And this is a portable power generator. Stage 1 engine right here. It says stage 1 engine. The stage 1 engine developed 430,000 pounds of thrust. And this is a stage 2 engine. It says stage 2 burned for about 3 minutes and then propelled the missile to an altitude of about 200 miles. It was shut down at the appropriate time by the onboard guidance system. Air Force rescue helicopter that it says on loan from the United States Air Force. Watch for rattlesnakes, guys. Interesting. We're in the desert, so we need to. Yeah, it's a watch for rattlesnakes. I guess they can be hidden in the gravels here, the rocks here. Gift shop and museum exit. Oh, look at these little missiles here. What's this?
Free dried ice cream sandwiches.
I've never tried that before. We should try one of them. Which one you want to try? Let's try one.
Mint chocolate chip.
This one.
What flavor is this one?
Mint chocolate
No, we're
chip.
just taking one. We're gonna try it because I never had it.
I think it's
Freeze-dried
just
ice
one
cream.
in each.
This one.
So I have some t-shirts right here. The bags,
Hats, shirts.
and the hats. Okay, we're gonna try it.
Do we have to buy this?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not for free. Oh, this is what it's called, the rocket fuel. The rocket fuel handler's clothing outfit. It said the missile crew wore these dark blue uniforms while on alert in the silos. Let's go.